to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the man who was projected to be the New York Giants outside linebacker coach, Bret Bielema. In addition to that, I think he had some kind of special assistant, and he still very well may be. These are all rumors and things that are starting to come out. But just days after Joe Judge officially announced Beilema and the rest of the New York Giants coaching staff as being official, as the New York Giants basically overhauled their entire staff in one offseason with a new head coach, Beilema is projected, potentially, to be taking the Michigan State head coaching job. Now, Bielema is a very accomplished head coach at the college ranks. He coached for both Arkansas and Wisconsin. Didn't do so well at Arkansas, but if you look at Arkansas after the fact, they only won 2 games, I believe, the following 2 seasons. With his first stop at Wisconsin, he did a phenomenal job. 1 year, I think he went like 11-1. He coached guys like Russell Wilson, J.J. Watt. We've said it many times. And he is a very qualified head coaching candidate, specifically at the college ranks, which is why I was surprised to begin with that Bielema took the job as the outside linebackers coach. The reason that I thought that he may have taken the job with the New York Giants, and hopefully he stays on because I do think he brings a lot of great experience, was the fact that he had a connection to Joe Judge, and he may have saw an opportunity with the Giants to move up the ranks. He may have not seen that same opportunity with the New England Patriots. With the New York Giants, you have a young defensive coordinator with Patrick Graham, who Bielema's also coached with, linked with the Patriots for 1 year. And Patrick Graham is a young guy, the type of guy that if he does a good job, teams may be looking at as a potential head coach in the following year or two. So Bielema may have looked at it like, listen, I can move up the ranks, become a defensive coordinator, or potentially a head coach somewhere else if I get this, the outside linebacker unit into gear. And to me, this is one of the more important coaches on the defense. Now, what will the New York Giants do if they move on from Bielema? Well, before I get into that, let me pull up the quote that I found on Giants Wire, and it's being reported everywhere else about Beilema. Here's the first thing. There's a lot of things. This was coming off the mouth of Joe Judge. There's a lot of things to like about Bret, Judge said last week. I think Bret brings a great personality to the group, brings a great perspective on how he sees the game. He's coached the front for some time. He's coordinated defenses at a high level. Players respond to Bret in a positive way. He has a great view of teaching. He has a great way of getting the guys motivated, and he gets the most out of his players. All very positive things, and like I said, he's an incredibly accomplished head coach. He actually was the D-line coach with the New England Patriots before taking this job, and like I said, had a lot of head coaching experience at the college level. Well, now, supposedly, a college has come knocking down his door, and that is Michigan State. Now, word had come out a couple of days ago that Michigan State was actually looking to hire potentially the New York Giants' former head coach, Pat Shurmur. Shurmur, of course, signed on to be the offensive coordinator with the Denver Broncos. Shurmur may see it as, this may be my last chance to get a head coaching job, seeing as I've failed so much at the NFL level, and he may see himself as a head coach, which is why he was potentially interested. But now word is starting to circulate that Michigan State is targeting Bret Bielema. Rainer Saban of the Detroit Free Press reports that Bielema has definite interest in the Michigan State head coaching job, which has also reportedly drawn interest of former Giants head coach and current Denver Broncos offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur. According to a source with knowledge of the situation, former Wisconsin and Arkansas coach Bret Bielema has definite interest in succeeding Mark Antonio, who retired Tuesday after 13 seasons. Word he is eager to return to the college games and has set his sights on the Big Ten, where he played at Iowa and achieved the most success as a head coach at Wisconsin. So there you go. Bielema's familiar with the conference. He's been a head coach in the past. He probably still views himself as a head coach, and he sees an opportunity, and he wants to jump on it for one of the better programs in college football with Michigan State. Their head coach, of course, unexpectedly retired, which is what started this speculation and why Michigan State is looking at Bret Bielema as a potential replacement. Obviously, they've played against him many times. I'm sure they respect his coaching style, and they think he's the guy that could get that program back on track. But as far as the New York Giants go, if Bielema were to leave, I didn't do a lot of research as to which candidates could potentially replace him, but the New York Giants may just add added responsibility to someone on the roster. Someone like Kevin Sherr, who's in charge right now of the inside linebacker core. He may just become the linebackers coach. That's incredibly possible. Sherr has experience coaching at Alabama with Joe Judge. That's why I think Judge brought him on. Another guy that he has experience coaching with, just like he has experience coaching with Bret Bielema. But for such a young defensive coordinator like Patrick Graham, a guy as inexperienced as he is, I thought it was valuable and still may be valuable. Bret Bielema has not left yet. He very well may not. He may or may not take that Michigan State job. But I thought it was very valuable to have guys like Beilema underneath him that have been in the game of football for a very long time. As smart as Patrick Graham is, and I don't get on him for his Miami Dolphins performance last year because they had no talent, it always helps when you have experience underneath you, when you're a guy as inexperienced as he is. Beilema also could have been a guy, if Patrick Graham does not work out well or succeeds and goes elsewhere as a head coach, that could have taken over as the defensive coordinator position. But unfortunately in the NFL and in college, that's the way it works. Coaches, once they get a better opportunity, they move on, which is when you bring together a coaching staff as strong as this one is with the New York Giants, this is the type of thing you have to worry about. Because when you have such talented guys coaching underneath your head coach, well, teams are going to try to pluck those guys at other spots, whether it be a head coach at the college level or a promotion somewhere else. That seemingly is what happened with Miami this year. It happens with a lot of teams, including the New England Patriots. Your head coach is only as good as the coaches underneath him, and Joe Judge knows that. That's why he's brought together an all-star staff, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens with Bret Bielema. We'll see if he signs on with Michigan State. Hopefully he doesn't. I'd love to see him stay with the New York Giants. My guess is if they do offer him a job and offer him a lot of money, he's probably going to take it. You can make a lot of money at the college level as a head coach, especially for a program as big as the Michigan State Spartans. You also don't have you get to bring in your own players. You have full say. In a lot of ways, you could argue that being a head coach at the college level is a better gig than at the NFL level. And Bielema's had success there. He'd be comfortable doing it. He's coached in the Big Ten. And it certainly makes a lot of sense for both parties. I just hope he stays with the Giants because I thought he was a great hire. And if he does move on, maybe they'll look elsewhere. Antonio Pierce was a name I've talked about in the past. He, of course, was an inside linebacker. But I think he just got a promotion at Arizona State. I honestly have no idea who they'd look to bring in, unless they just, like I said, added responsibility to Scher or somebody else that's already on the staff. Very well could be the case. As always, guys, if you like what you watch, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.